It's the last race of the season.
Green is out.
At Stafford, Santos threw the block on Stefanik's pit.
He is blocked Mike Stefanik in the pit. That really was detrimental to Mike Stefanik's pit stop.
The Mystic Missile would win.
Santos will win it.
But not before tensions erupted between the teams. Tonight, we conclude the Tour season with their traditional stop, the Thompson International Speedway.
They call it the Indianapolis of the East.
The kid wants title number 1.
Bobby Santos takes control of this points battle.
The vet wants number 8.
We just got to come here and run strong, try to get out of here with a win.
And Silky hopes the two of them slip up.
He's gotten back on track and back in the points hunt.
It's the 37th annual Sunoco World Series of Speedway Racing. Up next on Versus.
It started right here some 32 weeks ago. It was a trip that went to 8 different tracks and 13 different events. And it saw a battle that is seesawed back and forth all season long. All that remains is 150 laps. And you're part of the chase as Versus brings you the Sunoco World Series NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour race for the 5/8 mile Thompson International Speedway in Thompson, Connecticut. The points? Well, it's likely a 2-car contest between Bobby Santos, who seeks his first ever title, and a 7-time NASCAR modified champ, Mike Stefanik, but lurking in third is a youngster by the name of Ronnie Silk. Hi, everyone, I'm Jack Arute, and welcome to the finale, along with my partner, Jimmy Spencer, Mr. Excitement. All right, Jimmy. Bobby Santos gets back in victory lane after a long layoff at at Stafford last time out. How important was that?
You know, in the spring, he started on the roll. He started winning some races. But during the summer months, he lost his confidence, and it really bit him. So by him winning at Stafford, that really gave him the shot in the arm that he needed coming into Thompson.
Well, and certainly he's on top of the points. So let me ask you this. If you were in the car, would you rather be the hunter or the hunted?
A lot of times, I wanted to be the hunter. But today, I believe you want to be the hunted.
Why?
I think that you have everything to lose. And, you know, he's starting on the pole. The key to today's race is in his hand. He has 150 laps. He has everything to lose.
Well, we've got by people looking at him and trying to unseat him at the top. Let's talk to Kelly Stavis, the third member of our team, who is with the leader of those hunters.
And Mike Stefanik is hunting for his 8th NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour Championship, and it'll likely take a win to get the title. And Mike, you have more Tour wins than anyone here at Thompson, but it has been a while since early 2006. So how can you turn things around and get back to your winning ways here at Thompson?
Well, Kelly, you start by bringing a fast car, and I think we brought a pretty good car here. The team's been, diligently working on this race car throughout the season, and hopefully we have enough car to make that happen today.
Well, Mike set the record for most wins in a season with 13 when he won the championship back in 1998, and no one has ever won the title without at least 1 win on the season, Jack.
All right, Kelly, there's just 150 laps left in this title chase, and you've got the front row seat. So stay right here. The start is next here on Versus. Just moments ago, this capacity crowd heard the words they wanted to hear all weekend. The cars have fired, 32 cars strong, getting ready to go to post here in the Sunoco World Series, the final event in the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. The temperature, well, you take a look at it, it couldn't be finer for racing, but we'll be talking a little bit about these wind gusts. That could become an issue, Jimmy, as we start to look at what's at stake during this race. As you said, all right, you want to be the hunter? Well, that's the case. And this 5/8 of a mile oval until New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Well, this is the largest track in New England, but not anymore. And forget about the money, Forget about all that. This is all about winning the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour Championship. And certainly Bobby Santos started, as we take a look at the front row and go through the rest of the field, started by snaring the pole position, and then on the redraw, he ends up pulling number 1. Flanking him on the outside is Eric Byrne. Then we move to row number 2, and that's where the first of our eyes-on drivers comes. You like old TC, don't you?
I like Teddy Christopher. He's won back-to-back World Series, and I think he'll be the first driver possibly to win 3 in a row.
Stefanik on the outside, and then in row 3, it's Rowan Pennick, a former winner on the Whelen Modified Tour this year. And then on the outside of him, Kelly Stavitz. Your eyes on around that driver, aren't they?
Hot streak continued at Stafford with a second-place finish, making it 6 podiums in 9 races for the number 6 car. But he has yet to win this year, so he's definitely hungry for it. Thompson's been kind to him. 3 of his 4 career wins have come here at Thompson.
Row 4 finds Jimmy Blewett, Ned Flemke Jr. in the 5th row. James Savali was chasing for the Southern Modified Tour Championship, only to have it go away. And on the outside, Georgie Brunhosel III. Row 6 is Eric Beers, flanked by Woody Pitkat. And in row 7, the youngster, 18 years of age, Eric Rudolph from Ransomville, New York. And my eyes-on driver, Burt Myers of Walnut Cove, North Carolina, making his 2nd trip north, but this time he carries the Whelen Southern Modified Tour crown with him. As we go deeper into the field and you take a look at the starting lineups, this, Jimmy, is going to be an interesting race on so many facets and for so many reasons. One of them is that the pit road incident that we had at the Stafford Motor Speedway, this is a much wider, much longer, bigger pit stalls, so I don't think we'll have that problem like we had at the last race at Stafford.
Green flag is out, Jack.
On the inside, here they go. Will it be Bobby Santos down into turn number 1? He's being challenged from behind by Christopher. And look at Stefanik on the outside as Eric Byrne takes the front spot from Santos.
This is a position that I don't think Bobby Santos expected from Eric Byrne to jump that quick on the outside.
Santos now trying to settle into the 2nd spot. 3rd spot goes to Stefanik, and trying to move up in there is the red car of Ted Christopher, who finds a spot directly in front of the 6 of Ronnie Silk. They run nose to tail down into turn 4.
Stefanik real loose right there off of turn 3, exiting turn 4. And I tell you what, you don't want to do that under the lap race. You see the tires. You will hit before the day's over. You don't have to take a chance of hitting too early. We saw that happen this year, and you end up losing the race here at Thompson.
Patience, so very much in play here. Only 2 laps about to complete the 3rd lap. And Jimmy, right now, I'm sure the spotters are going, settle down, settle down. You still got 147 laps to go this time.
The big thing is you're right, patience is very critical today, because this is a long race. You do have to make a pit stop. But most importantly, you know, for Bobby Santos and Mike Stefanik and Teddy and Silk right there running 2nd through 4th, these guys are in the chase for this championship. And the thing is they don't have to work their way through the traffic, which is a benefit to them.
Take a look back there in the battle for the 12th, 13th, and 14th spot. That white car on the inside, that is a new Troyer entry. Todd Szegedy debuted at Stafford, and this is the old Whisk Snuggles car that won at Stafford Motor Speedway. On the inside of Woody Pitkat in that maroon, 28 on the outside.
Yeah, and we're seeing right there Rudolph right on their back bumper too. You would have thought Szegedy probably would have had a little bit better year than he had, but he did win at Stafford, and trying to get his ducks in a row here before next year.
Szegedy, who started in the 15th position here, has moved up by 2 spots. He is trying to work his way through some heavy race traffic. One of the reasons why the race traffic is so heavy is because during qualifying, the colder temperatures for the first cars out did not yield them the speeds they wanted. Some very fast cats in the middle of the field.
Yeah, and the thing was, is qualifying, we saw, if you would have gained like a 1/10 of a second, you could have moved as much as 12 to 14 positions up. So these guys feel their car was capable of doing it. They just didn't get the lap they needed on Saturday qualifying.
But when you take a look at Eric Byrne as he starts to feel the heat again from Bobby Santos. Started on the tour back in 2004. He runs only part-time, and oh boy, that car almost got away from out of turn number 4. Santos, I got to tell you, if I'm driving that Mystic Missile right now and knowing what's at stake, I don't want to make any miscues, do I?
No, you don't. You know, the thing about Bobby Garbrino, he has put some caution on him.
Caution. That looks to be the 33 of Wade Cole of Riverton, Connecticut. Brings out the first caution of the evening. He started in the 30th spot. This gives us all a chance to catch our breath with 9 laps in the record books as they come down to the caution. We'll come back and take a look at what's going on in the early going here in the Sunoco World Series. Right after this, Byrne is on the pole, Santos on the outside, and Stefanik lurking in third. Here at the Thompson Speedway, let's bring you up to speed. We're in our second caution, but here's what happened while you were gone. On the restart, Eric Byrne decided to take the outside, Jimmy, and it worked to his advantage, as it seems as if the high groove is the best groove right now.
Yeah, and that was the same thing he did on the original start where Santos was on the pole and Byrne was on the outside. But look who's coming on the outside, Jackie.
On the outside comes Teddy Christopher. He moves into second. That drops Santos back to third. We're going back to green yet again with Teddy Christopher on the inside. And at the drop of the green flag, Byrne takes that high side again. But Christopher way wide up in front of him.
What a slide job Teddy did there.
Oh, you really think that was a slide job?
Man. I'll tell you what, though, Teddy, you know, he doesn't have as much to lose as the 4-car. He's doing everything he can to try to win this race.
Seeing the speeds escalate, almost hitting 130 miles an hour. It's not the straight line speed, it's the corner speed here. And look at Byrne is battling back, and Bobby Santos is fading. Santos reporting during the caution, car not turning in the middle of the corner the way he'd like.
Yeah, he was saying that on the radio. It was a little tight, Jackie, and then it snaps loose. And I think that allows him not to get the line he wants. Now he's all the way back to 6th position. Not good, and Byrne making a move on the inside of Teddy.
Eric Byrne on the inside in the silver car, part-timer. Teddy Christopher, former NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour champion, does the crossover, tries the inside. Car almost gets away from him at the line. Byrne battles back.
Teddy with another slide back up to him again. It opens a door for Mike Stefanik.
You've got to look at that and wonder. But Teddy Christopher takes over the lead. He's followed by Stefanik. Silk has moved into the 3rd position as Byrne has faded. Byrne now finds himself way back. He has dropped back to the 6th position as that move was just, it just took him right out of the hunt.
What happens, Jackie, when you get pushed up that high on the racetrack, you get a lot of marbles and stuff collected on your tires, and it's not good, and right now he's paying the price.
So Stefanik moves in right behind Teddy Christopher. You look at Byrne, he has paid the price, as we said. He has dropped back to the 5th position, but it is a battle up front. Stefanik, a 9-time national titleist in the Busch North and in the Whelen Modified Tour, trying to go after Teddy Christopher. Crossover move on the inside. Comes the 52-year-old against another 52-year-old on the outside. Christopher gets the best of it.
The thing is, it's only fitting. Here's your the guys with the most wins here at Thompson, Teddy, and then Mike Stefanik in second.
Teddy Christopher trying to become the first man in history to win back-to-back-to-back Sunoco World Series of Speedway races here at the Thompson International Speedway. The titleist in 08, the titleist in 09. Stefanik trying to score his first victory of the year and on the way to a national title.
Did you see that little bump by Mike Stefanik on the back of Teddy? He isn't happy with the way Teddy's driving him right now.
Let's take a look. If the points ended right now, who would be the winner? It would be Bobby Santos by just 17, but as we said, Santos fading just a bit, settling in the 6th position. Meanwhile, this is a torrid battle up front between Ted Christopher, who has already won 9 times in the SK Modifieds here, a winner the last time we were here at Thompson in the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, winning his driver in the Whelen Modified Tour when they run at Thompson. Goes to the inside, tries to challenge Teddy Christopher. They're side by side down the backside. They bump, Jimmy.
This is something that, you know, Mike is, they bump again in turn 3. Mike finally gets the move. They bump again off of 4. Jackie, I'm telling you what, these guys, for the 2 veterans, they're putting on a whale of a race right there. Racing for the lead. Exciting.
45 laps are in the record books. They've taken the gloves off already. Teddy Christopher, who going into the New Hampshire Motor Speedway thought he had a definitive eye on the championship, only to have it go up in smoke early on. Now trying to at least lay claim to one historic occasion here at Thompson, while Stefanik just wants his first victory. A trouble up in turn number 3, in between 3 and 4. It is Glenn Tyler of Hampton Bays, New York. Started 26. He brings out our 3rd caution. And look at Stefanik and Christopher are not at all happy. Wow.
This
that
is very
one will
exciting.
take your breath away.
This is good racing right now, man.
How's the car? Little free.
Listening to Mike Stefanik.
A little better, though. I don't know why.
Talking to his crew chief, trying to decide, Jimmy, whether to come in and pit right now. 46 laps.
Well, we have 100 to go, so this is going to be a critical point. Do guys make...
Than Ted, you just can't quite get him.
We're going to pit now. We're going to pit now.
There you go.
6 coming in. We got the 4 coming in.
This is interesting. Remember at Thompson in this August? They pitted too early. Teddy stayed out. We saw what happened. Is that going to happen again?
Looking for a little wedge is our understanding.
We're going to pull the rubber. We're going to back the stagger off. That's it.
There you go.
They're going to pull
chassis.
They're going to pull spring rubber out, which means they'll make the spring a little bit softer, and they're going to adjust the
Have to turn
stagger.
yourself out. We got a spot between us. Just give us room on the left side.
Talking about trying to find the pit stall and leave them room to be able to change on both sides, the right sides and the left sides. Kelly Stavitz is standing by. Here comes Mike Christopher to your position, Kelly.
Well, as the guys come down pit road, Mike Stefanik has told me that he's confident he has the best pit crew here in the entire tour. He said they practice this every week, but don't forget that last time they got pinched in by Bobby Santos in front of him, which cost him some points. That's not the case here today. As we see both crews hard at work, so far it seems to be seamless. Getting that third tire on, the 16. They're changing 3 tires. Looks like it's the same up ahead for the 4, and it'll be a race to see who gets out of these pits first, Jack.
Kind of interesting, though. It looks as
And
if
it looks like
will
it'll
be.
be Stefanik.
Mike Stefanik first out, followed by Silk. And Bobby Santos just a little bit longer, Jimmy.
But Santos looked like they were making a chassis adjustment to the right front of that car right there. So I don't think he was really concerned about being a little bit longer. I think he's concerned about the next 100 laps to get the car adjusted, because this is what he's hoping is his last stop of the day.
Let's check in with Mike Stefanik. Mike Stefanik, Jack Arute up in the Versus booth. Kind of a dicey decision to come in.
Yeah, well, you know, it's 100 to go. We got to mix it up. We got to try to win this thing any way we can do it. So, yeah, we thought it was the right thing to do.
You and Christopher trading a little paint and a little Nerf bars there. What's going on?
I just want to lead a lap. I need them 5 points, you know.
All right, good luck. You're getting ready to go back to green. Boy, that was an understatement, Jimmy.
Yeah, this is just good racing, and 5 points would have been
They're going to wave it off. They're going to wave it off, Jimmy, because they forgot to let the car come around. The lucky dog position goes to the 26. Let's check in and see if we can get Bobby Santos and see how his day is going. Bobby Santos, Jack Arute in the Versus booth. How's it going out there? Bobby made a major chassis adjustment, Jimmy. You saw it as well as I did. Now, Stefanik taking a spring rubber out, changes, frees the car up just a little bit, but Santos obviously wanted, knowing he was going to have to use these tires now to the 150th lap, needed to make some chassis adjustments, and big time.
You can't have a tight race car and be fast.
Bobby Santos and his spotter conferring. We're getting ready to go back to green.
And Mike Stefanik knows that.
Santos now finds himself back in 13th spot. Silk is in 14th. Zegedy is in 15th. Mike Stefanik leads that group in the 12th spot. But out front, it continues to be Ted Christopher and Eric Burt. They will come down to take the green flag. And it is out. And boy, this outside groove is the key today, Jimmy.
Teddy got a great restart. He was paying attention for that. Yes, he is the leader, but he got a great jump on Byrne and started back in.
Give a call to Eric Byrne, a part-time racer. I believe this is only his 8th start in 2010 out of the 13 events that have been run. But he has got that car up to full song down to turn number 1. These two guys hound each other at Thompson and Stafford in the SK Modified division. Now they're doing it at the upper level of modified racing.
And Byrne, you know, give this guy a lot of respect, man. He is not backing down from Teddy. He is leaving the bumper on him. Here he's making a move to the bottom of the racetrack off of 410.
But the question is, can he make it stick down into turn number 1? Those big wide tires take Teddy Christopher way up high to the wall and then ride the hill back down, and Eric Byrne is now
Favor return is all I can tell you. Byrne says, you know what, you done that to me, Teddy. I'm going to return the favor. Teddy took it. So you know what, we're going to see this a lot more today.
We have a new leader. Eric Byrne out front. Teddy Christopher fades to the 2nd spot. Moving into 3rd is Rowan Pennick. 4th spot is Eddie Flemke Jr. Doug Kobe driving in the 5th position. Burt Myers has moved to 6th. And none of them have pitted yet.
And quickly, Eddie Flemke, 338 consecutive starts. Give him credit for that today.
Still plenty of racing to come right here on Versus. Back here, we are under our 5th caution of the afternoon in the Sunoco World Series of Speedway Racing. Let's bring you back up to speed. There were a couple of altercations out on pit road. The first one coming up when Jimmy Blewett brought out the caution. That caused the leader, Eric Burt, to come to pits, and look, he gets sandwiched in there and has to back his way out. Then there was a problem likewise for Burt Myers, this Whelen Southern Modified Tour champion, making his 2nd appearance at the Thompson Speedway. And then Ronnie Silk on the inside, trying to get the best and take the lead away from Ted Christopher. Christopher lets go. Silk has better tires, and James Savali brings out the 5th caution. And everybody pits, including Ted Christopher. And as we get ready to go back to green, it is Mike Stefanik who is now finding himself wanting to lead a lap. Your leader right now is Ron Silk, who is on the outside of him and wants to be able to get back on the gas.
Ready.
You're listening to Julie Stefanik.
Green flag, go, go, go.
And that high side still works, and it is Ronnie Silk trying to battle back. And Jimmy, you and I both know that this is going to change things up when it comes to if the race ended now in terms of points. But Bobby Santos is battling back. Santos now, after that caution, has moved back into 7th spot.
Yeah, the thing is that we're seeing now Zagady. You said earlier that Zagady started making the outside group work early, and he's taking 2nd over from Mike Stefanik. Well, he's trying to.
That is a brand new car that Todd Zagady brought out at Stafford Motor Speedway. This is only its 2nd outing. Brand new, I believe it's a Troyer car that they've decided to go with. And Stefanik still wanting to get those 5 bonus points for leading the most laps. That could be critical as Ron Silk now pulls to about a 0.4 second lead at over 120 miles an hour over Stefanik. And it is the 2 car of Zagady in 3rd, Eric Goodale running in the 4th, Santos in 5th, Eric Rudolph in 6th.
Well, Santos has made the best of everything. When he was all the way back to 13th, driving a very patient race today. And in turn, after this restart, his gain of 7 positions. A couple guys pitted, but a good restart also.
We're joined in the booth by a guy like you that has had his wheeled more than his share of modifieds. Steve Park, who, Stevie, you've won the Sunoco World Series before. Good to have you with us, but so far, what do you see in this race?
It's just pretty incredible. I mean, what I love is the strategy, and Jimmy can tell you that, you know, we watch people pit at different times, and tires coming up through the field and tires not coming up through the field. So, you know, I think, you know, some of the guys who watch is Teddy Christopher. He held on the 2nd spot on old tires and came in and put new ones on, so he'll be marching through the field.
And, you know, Steve, you say about tires. Well, they should be allowed 2 or 3 sets, but they're not. They're only allowed 1 set. So, like you're saying, I agree. When you put them on, when you don't put them on, that becomes an issue of can I make the move later on in the race by waiting to put the tires on, as Teddy Christopher's done.
Yeah, and he's done it in the past too. I mean, he's had a good enough car to kind of get through the race and get within that 50-lap range at the end and put tires on and try to out-tire people. But just keep an eye on him now. He's just doing a great job to come up to the field.
He's the red car on the inside that you see now and again on the screen as we keep our eyes planted on the lead duo. Ron Silk and Mike Stefanik. So if the points ended right now, who would be on top in the championship? Stefanik currently posted in the 2nd, Santos in the 5th. And it would give Bobby Santos a 22-point margin. But Kelly Stabbits missing our 5 bonus points for leading the most laps that Mike Stefanik begged for from Ron Silk. Tell us about it.
Well, every point counts, as you know, and we've seen Bobby Santos moving up and back throughout the field, and Mike Stefanik desperately wants one of those bonuses for leading a lap, which would give him 5 points. Well, he, Pit Spotter, and Ronnie Silk Spotter talked to each other, and they kind of had an agreement that they would help each other out and both get a lap led. But the latest that we heard from Stefanik's wife and spotter was, hey, Ronnie Silk saying he's not just going to move out of the way for you. So Stefanik's going to have to make it happen if he wants to get those extra 5 points.
All right, guys, Jimmy Spencer first. Would you have given him the advantage and let him get those 5 bonus points?
Well, I always feel like that if you are owed a favor, you have to return it. If Mike Stefanik gave you an opportunity to do something, you have to return the favor. If not, then no, he doesn't have to. So all in all, you know, Steve, we've been in that position. It's up to the drivers to really do that.
Do you believe what he's trying to tell us?
Actually, I do. I mean, you know, it's a lot of give and take. And, you know, Ronnie Silk's in for the points, too. I mean, I think he's in the top 5 in points. And why give Stefanik 5 points when you're trying to beat him on a racetrack, too?
Santos currently being shown in the 5th position. That is good enough right now, Jimmy, if it goes.
And, you know, you're right. I mean, Bobby's definitely got it in good position. But, you know, Ron Silk, in his defense, this guy's got how many second-place finishes, third-place finishes this year? He has not won this year. So this is very important. And also, Stefanik hasn't won a race this year. These two guys don't want to go through this long winter without a win.
On the inside of Bobby Santos, as you listen to his spotter and you see the speed escalating, almost hitting 126 miles an hour, is Ted Christopher. Christopher gets by him. Christopher now moves into the 6th position, moves into the 5th position, correct myself, and he is on the hunt trying to work his way back to the front.
He's got about 35 laps fresher tires, Steven. You know, as a driver, we love this.
you love having fresh tires, and you know, it gives you a psychological advantage too, where you feel like your tires are better than the guys in front of you, so you seem like you drive a little bit harder.
The thing here is Santos is still in decent shape. He's not got any lap traffic to contend with right now. Running in 6th, he knows the guy he's really racing. Up Teddy, up high, something looks like it broke on his car. But then he's back to it again.
Teddy Christopher always running the high side up in turns 1 and 2, and had to pay dearly for that one as Ron Silk has moved into the 1st position. Mike Stefanik is 2nd, Todd Zegedy 3rd. Give a call to Eric Goodale, running in the 4th spot, very solid. Now Bobby Santos and Teddy Christopher back and forth. Christopher gets by Santos, but Santos, he still wants to get in front of that red number 36.
You know what's impressed me about Bobby Santos this year is he's just such a patient driver. I mean, you know, if he becomes a champion, he's a well-deserved champion by being able to race smart week in and week out.
And Bobby Santos driving for the first full time on the circuit. He's run before. He's not a rookie, but this is the first full season that he's run. Will he win the championship? We'll find out. Here at the Thompson Speedway, getting down to what would be a typical short track Saturday night as we're inching closer and closer to 30 laps. Jack Arute along with, well, I'm in great company. Two guys that know how to get the job done here at Thompson in the modifieds. Of course, Jimmy Spencer, Mr. Excitement, Steve Park. Stevie, going to see you back in one of these someday?
Oh, boy, I love the modified cars. He's not too old. I've actually raced behind this guy for many years, and I kind of grew up learning from guys like himself, my dad, and stuff like that. And the modifieds are some of the best racing that you see on Saturday nights at places like Thompson Speedway and Stafford Speedway up here in New England, and you can't beat it as we see out here on the racetrack.
You told me a story that your dad at, what, 62, 63 years old, you finally made him park his modified, Bob Park?
Yeah, I can't tell him his exact age, but he's given it up and took on some street rods, so it's pretty good for me.
Old habits die hard, especially when you've got the bug, Jimmy.
Yeah, Steve, aren't you? You're going to be driving in the Truck Series next year, Camping World Truck Series.
Yeah, we are. We're hopefully going to do at least 10 races in the Camping World Truck Race. So you know, right now we're just really watching Teddy Christopher work his way to the front and put on a heck of a show here at Thompson.
He can't do that.
Yeah, but give a call to the 52. Now, that car has already been to victory lane at the Lime Rock race after Todd Zegedy blew up late in the going. Dale Quarterly put that one for Wayne Darling in victory lane. Kobe gets the call. Doug Kobe, by the way, guys, was the finalist for the V4 car, for the 4 car that Bobby Santos drives. And, Jimmy, the difference was once Bob Garbarino got a commitment from Bobby Santos, he said, that put me over the edge, and I selected Santos over Kobe.
And when I talked to Bobby at Riverhead, and I said, Bob, what's the story, you know, with this kid, Santos? And he said, Jimmy, I said, if you're going to drive my car, I want a commitment out of you. I want you to say, you're going to drive my car all year long. He gave Bob that commitment, and look where they are leading the points race.
It's like Junior Johnson's used to say, when you sit down to bacon and eggs, the pig was involved. I mean, the chicken was involved, the pig was committed, so all of a sudden, he made Bobby Santos become bacon. He is trying to hold off Eric Beers right now in the 76, and that is a battle for the 5th position. No major change up front. You got to like what Ron Silk has done so far, but now the big question mark is he's got clear sailing, and what about Stefanik? Beers going to the inside trying to challenge, and if you're Bobby Santos, you don't want to play it too close to the vest, do you, Stevie?
No, you definitely don't. But I mean, you know, just look at what this modified tour is all about. I mean, the top 4 guys at points are racing in the top 5 here at Thompson. So I mean, it's pretty incredible to watch guys like Mike Stefanik work his way up to the field and run in second right now. And just, you know, what Ronnie Silk's been doing too is pretty impressive.
Yeah, Silk will still end up finishing third, 22 points behind his Stefanik. Even if Stefanik could get by to move back into the first position, he has not led a lap yet, so he will get 5 points for leading the most laps. He has got to, Jimmy, I think, Stefanik's got to pick it up, and he's got to figure out a way to get around Kobe and Silk, and then go out there and get the 5 bonus points.
Yeah, the big thing is here, I think Silk has not got the pace that he had, and we're seeing Kobe really use the bottom groove right here. I don't think Mike, as it looks right now, I don't think Mike's going to lead this race. Right now, it looks like favoritism showing to Kobe right now.
I don't know. It's a 4-car cha-cha at about 135 miles an hour right now. Silk in the TS Haulers, number 6, and giving him all that's worth in the Wayne Darling 52. Rim riding on the inside is Doug Kobe, with Stefanik now looking to the outside, trying to ride that little teeny draft on the high side to get into that second position. And here comes TC.
And you know what? This is great racing. But you know, Steve, you know and I do. Look off of turn 4. The key to this racetrack's always been to get your car straight off of 4. That's what he did. That's how he passed Ron Silk right there. That was always been critical at Thompson, is to get that car under power and up off their straight.
Yeah, it's that forward bite. You know, if you can get the car to rotate through the center and get the wheel straight, get all that forward bite up off, use all that big horsepower here in the NASCAR Modifieds, and get a good run down the front straightaway.
Silk started in the 6th position, and I talked to him before the race, and Eddie Partridge and himself, and there was some question as to whether Ronnie Silk would be back in 2011 to drive for Eddie Partridge, and Partridge dispelled those rumors earlier this week. And based upon this performance, let's see if Teddy Christopher slipping and sliding down low, and there's a lap car straight ahead. Will Teddy Christopher use it as a pick?
Teddy saw what Kobe did. He finally makes the pass and wanted to. So finally, Teddy is
here
using that
comes
bottom
Stefanik,
groove.
and Stefanik sees the bottom groove now. He's going to try and get the best of Silk.
They touch off of 4. They both keep it under control, though. But you know, once again, these guys don't have as fresh tires, and we're seeing Kobe and the 36 of Teddy use these tires to their advantage.
Yeah, they really are. And Teddy, you know, Teddy knew that when he pitted late for tires, that he had fresh tires when everybody started slipping and sliding around. And now that we get within the last 25 laps of this race, I think you're going to see tires move up.
And give a call to Doug Kobe, who is now your leader. This is his 100th career NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour race. Unfortunately, he really has not been successful in tying down a full-time ride. He's a winner of illustrious races like the Spring Sizzler, and no matter what he seems to strap himself in, he gets 125% out of that car. The Wayne Darling number 52 leads. And now, if you're Teddy Christopher, Jimmy Spencer, how do you close that 2-second gap?
I think what you got to do is see what he has done. And what Teddy's doing now is he's starting to utilize all the corner that he can use. So he's using less brake, trying to carry all the speed he can. He's running out of time with less than 22 laps to go. Teddy trying to get, which is unheard of, Steve, 3 wins in a row here in the fall final. I mean, I'm going for him because I think I love to hear records being broken.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. And the thing, too, is, you know, Teddy, in his mind right now, he knows that he has fresher tires, and he can push his car a little bit further and wear those tires a little bit down, because we are getting into closing laps, and he's going to do everything he can to catch the 52 car.
So we're getting down to just a handful of laps. In fact, 20 laps to go in this one, with Doug Kobe, Ted Christopher, Ronnie Silk, and Mike Stefanik. Bobby Santos rounds out the top 5 here on Versus. Back here, 28 laps to go. We have been given the 1 to go signal. Let's see if we can quickly get a word from Mike Stefanik. Mike Stefanik, Jackaroo, what have you got for the end of this race, pal?
I kind of used up what I had trying to catch the 6 before the 52 and the 36 got to me, tried to get a lap lead, but had to use my stuff up. We're free off. I ain't got nothing.
That pretty much tells you everything you need to know. But I'll tell you guys who does have something right now, and that is Doug Kobe. But does he have enough with Teddy Christopher, Jimmy Spencer, starting on the outside?
This is interesting. Steve and I was talking about this restart. When you realize that, go ahead, yeah.
Getting ready. So they wave this one off, Jimmy, and that gives us an opportunity to maybe try and get a word in with Bobby Santos as well. Bobby Santos, Jackaroo, you're kind of sitting pretty right now. What have you got?
That's not a race here.
You know, when you feel the pressure, guys, you keep it short and you keep it sweet, don't you?
Well, he's focused on. It's a very important restart with less than 20 laps to go. And getting back to this restart, we see Kobe and we see the 36 of Teddy. I'm surprised that Kobe started on the inside. He didn't want to give Teddy that inside because we all know Teddy does a slide jump on them restarts. So Kobe's played part in this before. This is very interesting.
But you like the 4 shot.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, the 4, I think, is in the catbird seat because, I mean, depending what the 52 and the 36 do on this restart, I think the 4 might lay back and just make sure they get through this okay, and if not, he'll be following the 6 through to the front.
We're about to find out. 16 laps to go in this one. 150 laps, the advertised distance on the gas coming up through the gearbox comes Doug Kobe. Does he have enough to take Christopher into turn number 1? Kobe goes up on the high side. Green stays out. Here comes Silk on the inside, and the TS Haulers number 6.
We heard Mike say he had nothing left, so he's just sort of hanging on to get the best finish he can. But boy, old Kobe, boy, his car exits turn 4 really strong. Teddy back to the inside.
Trying the inside, runs down the hill, down the backstretch, and let's give a call in the 6th position. Ryan Priest, who started way, way back in this field. In fact, he took the green in 28th spot, has worked his way up as Stefanik, talking about using up his car. He got sideways there, guys, coming out of turn number 4.
He said he was loose, and it proved it right there that he got a little loose off before, and he paid a price for it there.
Gary McDonald spins, but does not bring out the caution, tries to refire the car here on the front straightaway, and it does bring out the caution. Caution is out. It will certainly be a quick one, though.
Well, I think Teddy Christopher's sitting there licking his chops right now again, having a second shot of this again, and it'll be interesting to see. I think Kobe will pick the inside again, so we'll just have to see what happens here in the restart.
We're getting ready to go back to green. Bobby Santos, guys, has developed a problem during this caution. The car is not shifting the way he would like. He's on the inside on this restart. We're going to have to watch him very carefully. He's got to finish 7th or better, or this championship could be up and be a tussle. Right now, it is Christopher and Kobe that'll bring the field down, and Silky still in that 3rd spot, and Ryan Priest in the 4th position. He does have problems on that restart. You can see Santos could not come up through the gearbox as quickly as Ryan Priest. Darting and diving to the inside. It is TC, Ted Christopher. But look at Doug Kobe. He just shoots down into turn number 3.
And his best part of his racetrack is right there coming off of 4. So Teddy's going to make a move. He's got to make it 1 and 2. But old Santos, that was a big restart for him because if he has a shifter problem, 24 cars on the lead lap right now, he would lose the championship. Right now, he got it in high gear, and he's rolling along in 6th position.
6th position. He's got to finish 7th or better. Eric Beers trails it. Ryan Priest, blue bowler number 3, is directly in front of him as we run down the laps. And let's see what Ted Christopher might have for Doug Kobe of Milford, Connecticut. And McDonald spins again, and it's precisely the same place. And no caution this time. They tell him to refire the car. He does. He pulls out directly in front of the field. We are still green here.
Narrowing down with less than 6 laps to go. This is a very intense moment for Bobby Santos. Remember Steve, you raced for the championship? Because you knew it wasn't over till that checkered waved.
And the car made so many noises on those last 5 laps.
Vibrations.
You never heard of them before. Vibrations, tires, transmissions.
Everything was shaking.
So I'm sure that's part of what he's here to.
They say when you go to Vegas, you're not supposed to count cars. Well, when you run in a modified tour, you don't want to count laps. But that's exactly what Bobby Santos is doing right now. Ryan Priest has turned the heat up, and he has moved into the 4th position, getting by Ronnie Silk, who was one of our early leaders. And Doug Kobe, this is a one-off ride for this kid from Milford, Connecticut, and he is doing Wayne Darling proud. Will Doug Kobe or Ted Christopher win this one? Or will we see, like in the Whelen Southern Modified Tour, in the last couple of races, there you go.
It looked like he let him go.
But look at,
Looks like something happened to him off of 2.
Here comes Kobe on the inside.
Looks like something happened to Kobe's car.
It'll be interesting to see if know, if he let him go to get those 5 bonus points or something, because he just stopped, it seemed like, and let that 36 go by.
When you have got a potential ride at your disposal, you don't let anybody go.
Yeah, you would think, look at this. He's having a battery issue.
He's having something, you're right, Steve, he's having something wrong because he's slowing down in about the center of the corner, right where the power really needs to be full. So Kobe, who has a shot at winning this race, slips all the way back to third now with some kind of mechanical issue.
Ted Christopher coming down to take the white flag. No one has ever done it, guys. In 2008, in 2009, he went to victory lane in the Sunoco Modified World Series for Speedway Racing. Will he make it at three-peat, at back-to-back-to-back? Ryan Preece tries to apply the heat. Rim riding, though, out of turn number 4. It will be Christopher with the victory. Preece will finish second. Kobe holds on to third. Stefanik in the 4th spot. Silk in 5th. Bobby Santos holds on and finishes in the 6th position.
Looks to me like Bobby Santos will be your champion, but Teddy Christopher, what accomplishment. 3 in a row. But Preece, I'm impressed with Preece to come back and get second. I've been impressed with this kid all year long, had no luck.
Remember, 1 year ago, Preece burst onto the scene, and he came very close to winning the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour title. But this youngster has got a bright future ahead of him. God only knows. Maybe someday he'll drive for Junior Johnson like you did, or maybe he'll follow in your footsteps down there in the Sprint Cup Tour, Steve.
Well, I think guys like Jimmy Spencer here is the guy that carved the way for guys like myself to get the opportunity to drive for guys like Dale Earnhardt and Junior Johnson. So, I mean, I think you'll see the next superstar hopefully come from the Northeast.
So Teddy Christopher will go to a familiar place. He won in the SK Modifieds 9 times this year, and now he has scored back-to-back-to-back wins. And Bobby Santos has won the championship. We'll talk with them next, right here on Versus. Back here at Thompson, we have crowned a race winner, and Jimmy Spencer, we've crowned a champion as well. Let's take a look at the final order of finish. Teddy Christopher victorious over a youngster by the name of Ryan Preece. What a display he put on.
This young kid got a lot of talent, had a great year. How about Doug Kobe? He's going to win this race here, but he has an injury problem. Mike Stefanik with another top 5 run. He still should have won this year. I'll tell you what, exciting year for me.
For Ted Christopher, it's a back-to-back-to-back Sunoco World Series championship. Let's check in with Kelly Stavitz. Kelly?
Well, Ted Christopher wins the World Series for the 3rd year in a row and picks up his 4th victory on the season. And he did it in the 11th hour. Ted, nothing like pulling off that victory there with just a handful of laps to go. You've won so many times here. It's your 3rd time winning this particular event, but what does this one mean to you?
Oh, it meant a lot because, you know, I think I put on a pretty good show for the fans here, and I drove it from lap 1 to the end as hard as I could drive it. So we just made a little bit of mistake there, you know, as far as getting a little too loose, and, you know, the 52 was better, but then on the restarts, he got real loose, and I don't know if he had something going on with his motor or something, but here we are again.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Meanwhile, the chase for the NASCAR Whelen Modified points title, Bobby Santos is victorious over Mike Stefanik.
Yeah, what a close battle here. And, you know, Teddy Christopher had some problems there at New Hampshire. Ronnie Silk, once again, I'm going to tell you what, we had a great battle all the way down to the last restart.
So it's time to coronate the new champion in the Whelen Modified Tour for NASCAR. Here's Kelly yet again.
Bobby Santos, in just his 1st full season here in the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, is your champion. He led the points after all but 1 race this season, and now you lead him when it counts. When you hear that, NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour champion, how do you feel?
It feels great. I don't think it's soaking yet. I'm just kind of disappointed in the race tonight, but you know, these guys did an awesome job. We fought hard, and that just shows how awesome this team is today.
Yeah, we know you wanted to go out with a win. It didn't quite work out. There were some moments there where you had some issues. What were you thinking there as you're sitting in kind of a vulnerable position?
It just felt like it wasn't in my hands, which is, that was the last thing I thought this weekend. I felt like it was in my hands, and just when we were so tight there, it felt like it wasn't in our hands. But just going to thank Bob Mueller, Bob Garbarino, this whole team. They're awesome.
They've had 3 wins in 4 years now, this team. What is it like driving for Bob?
It's awesome. It's just a lot of fun. I guess it's just meant to be. We got 4 wins and 4 poles, so I guess we it just wasn't meant to win today, but I'm just happy we got the championship.
Well, congratulations. Go celebrate.
Thank you.
4 wins, 4 poles, 4 car number 4. Congratulations to Bob Garbarino, the car owner. I want to thank you for joining us all season long here on Versus for the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. For more information on all the Versus programming, make sure that you visit Versus.com. Our congratulations to Ted Christopher for winning the race, and to our 2010 NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour champion, Bobby Santos. For Kelly Stavis and Jimmy Spencer, I'm Jack Arute. Hope you enjoyed it. So long, everyone.